Welcome to Book Club Yappening, a podcast where we discuss every and all things we've read and some of us haven't read, in a safe place where we can yap about life in general. In the description, you'll find links to our Fable, Instagram, and Discord accounts. Please follow for more yapping in different styles. For a warning, we will 100% be spoiling this book, so please pause, go read, and come back to yap. Welcome back to the Yappening, where we yap and we discuss books.
Yap, 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 yap.
Yap, 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 yap.
Nick, do the whistle. No. No.
I've forgotten how to whistle. It doesn't stop me, but
It's hard to whistle, wow. It's like a sad rebellion. There you go.
I would die so fast because I wouldn't be able to whistle.
Yeah. I mean, same, honestly. I
You
cannot
could never
whistle.
be a part of the rebellion.
Or that maybe I would live because I can't whistle.
That is true, the peace. Wow, I love that I can't even fucking remember a single name. Oh my god. Okay, so
Peace,
yeah.
stay resistance.
Peace wieners.
Peace dollars.
What?
What?
Hot dog.
You know
we
what?
don't
Yeah.
have in District 12.
They don't have hot dogs?
I'm sure they don't.
Well,
They barely have bread. Yeah, so hello, welcome. Today we are discussing Catching Fire. Yeah,
Catching Fire, yeah.
Yeah.
It's your book. It's your
I
show,
know,
girl.
I'm like, Brittney, am I right?
Yeah, you're right. You are correct. Yes.
Yeah, so today we are discussing Catching Fire, the second installment in the Hunger Games books on our journey to get to Sunrise on the Reaping. Yeah, we'll jump right in. We obviously know I'm chaotic when I host. I tried doing notes again. Didn't work.
I watched her write 3 things and then put the book away.
Yeah, and I wrote a couple more things, and mostly I was just obsessed with trying to make sure I got the names correct.
And then you told me to molest the pages of your actual
yeah, the
book.
actual book is so soft.
She's like, touch the book. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
because then like the book is like there's cream pages. Oh, I love a good cream page.
She's not wrong. They was very delightful to touch.
I would
that
go
book.
grab it. I'll get it for you later before I leave, so you can. Touch
it'll be
the
your
page.
treat.
I told her to touch it. I'm like, they're so nice.
I can't wait to see the cream.
Yeah, no, they're called cream pages. Just saying.
If you behave, maybe.
Yeah, if you behave, maybe. So yeah, so we're obviously like the Hunger Games not really a mystery to most people. So
Why are you listening to part 2 if you haven't listened to part 1?
right. Listen to part 1.
Also, side note, we're not going to be reading the triggers, but they will always be in the description. So if you have a trigger or you are curious, go read that.
Yeah, please go read the triggers at the bottom of the description.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, putting sewer slide in the description is less harmful than us saying the actual word out loud.
Did you guys get triggered? Like warned?
No, I was watching a YouTube creator, Pugzer, and they never, not to make assumptions, but they never read the triggers. They do put the triggers up on screen, but certain words they like put a line through so that it isn't flagged on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me like, oh yeah, like we are literally opening the episode saying a bunch of words that would absolutely be flagged on a number of platforms.
Yeah,
so maybe that's not the best way to...
That's why it's called algo speak, is because it gets flagged by the algorithm. Doesn't matter the context, but the algorithm doesn't care. You said it,
Yeah.
reap it.
Take it away.
Okay. So we begin the second book. Probably not too far after, maybe a couple months after the original Hunger Games, where Katniss and Peeta won together by defying the Capitol, by holding up poisonous berries they were going to threaten to eat together to either one, foil the Capitol's plans, there's no winners, or they're forced to have both winners, which they obviously chose both winners. I did not watch the second movie to compare it to the second book because I liked the second book so much that I didn't want the information to get crossed. But let's be honest, it's me hosting. Information's going to get crossed no matter what.
That's okay.
But, so in this one, they start off, Katniss is kind of past the fence again. And I know is past the fence again, just living her old days. She's by herself, not with Gale like she normally would be. because, you know, once Gale turned 18, he went down into the mines to start working, like, with all the other men. So he only really has Sunday to himself now, and that's when they find time for each other. Katniss does hunt game for Gale's family still. Her family's not in need for anything, but she still does, like, her normal stuff and goes to their black market, which is called the Hob, now that I remember. And so she still deals and stuff at the Hob with everybody, even though she's won the Hunger Games. And her family could never want for another thing in their life. So they live in the place called the Victor's Village, where they have built a bunch of empty homes. Imagine, like, having to live in a hut or a small building, knowing that there's a Victor's Village, like, that's built with really nice homes that are empty.
Yeah. Who could imagine just a bunch of empty big houses that are owned by an unseen entity that when they were homeless walking around? Who could imagine such a thing?
What a world would that be? That's why it's dystopian.
Right.
It's dystopian, right?
Yeah.
To have...
Okay, we're living in the world right now, guys. I get it.
I know.
I get it. You're right.
That's why I was like having a field day pulling quotes for this series.
I know, and now I'm just like, I'm sitting here realizing, I'm like, wait, no, we're here.
One of the tags I used in the last video was not relevant to today at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, isn't Trump making his own Hunger Games too?
Girl, yes. Isn't it like, what is it, the Great
Patriot
American
Games.
or something stupid?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's something.
Is it even going to come to fruition?
Probably not. Because, you know.
Well, at some point he's not going to be allowed around children anymore.
At some point, yeah, because he'll be in a grave.
Oh no, I thought you know, justice would finally, you know.
No.
I don't know what world you're living in, but justice who?
A hopeful one.
For the wealthy. Sorry, we can cut that out, but it's true.
Justice for what? What'd you say?
No justice for the wealthy.
Oh yeah, no, that's
because if you're wealthy, you get away with anything.
I love that you're explaining the dark side.
Yes,
Brittney,
Butters.
Brittney said something similar in the first episode, so I think we're fine.
Yeah, no, it's just how I feel. If you have money, you're skirting.
Because that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah. So Victor's Village, they live there. Peeta lives there. Katniss lives there. Haymitch lives there. Her family lives there. I don't know. Peeta's family does not live with him because they like their place wherever they're at. But I think Peeta pretty much just lives alone. Also, side note, after you win the games, you're expected to, like, have some type of talent that you learn after the games. Like, for example, Peeta does painting, because he was good at kicks, now he can actually paint. And Katniss doesn't really have something she's good at either than hunting, in her opinion. So she is a fashion designer. By fashion designer, Cinna's actually just designing everything for her. And so they got really close, because they have phones. Landlines, and she talks to Cinna from the Capitol.
Is Haymitch's specialty mixology?
Yes, absolutely. It's called, by mixing, it means maybe shaking the bottle once or twice and drinking right from it.
Well, it mixes in his stomach.
Yeah, it mixes in his stomach, yes. Haymitch is still, I can't wait to get to his book. I want to know more about him.
Yeah, can I get whatever alcohol they got? On ice? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
On the rocks? Sure.
But, like, doesn't matter. Yeah, so
everything goes into a martini shaker, whether there's ice in it or not.
Oh, you pretty much.
Alright, I'm done.
No, you're good. So Haymitch, yeah, no, his house is it is like filthy. It is disgusting. It smells like vomit. It smells like rotted food, burnt food. It's just a nasty situation to be in, but there's nothing you can do to help him clean it because he just gets angry. But he's still doing his thing. You know, not much has changed for Haymitch. Katniss is still dealing with the fact that she has to play on a fake relationship with Peeta for the cameras. But she's she like misses the closeness she had with Peeta, but Peeta has pretty much just backed off because at the end of the first book, she admitted that like it was just for show essentially, because she doesn't know how to like handle her own feelings because she's so busy like trying to take care of her family. Yeah. I think, in my opinion,
it was always about the bread.
It's always about the fucking bread, man. But, so, yeah, they really haven't talked, so she's lonely in that aspect. Gale's been working. Gale also having a slight effect from the televised relationship her and Peeta had, even if she explains to him it's fake, it's still hard to swallow.
I agree.
But,
were they anything in the beginning?
Gale and her, not explicitly, but you could tell.
They liked each other.
Yeah, you could tell they liked each other.
Okay. Because we had touched on, it seemed like she didn't really care for anyone.
No, she cares for people. She just, I think, has a hard time processing her care.
I think in the movies.
Just when I was reading the series, I definitely got more of a connection between her and Gale.
Oh, yeah.
Than ever her and Peta, so...
Yeah, her and Gale, had similar situations. Both lost their fathers in the mining accident, are taking care of their families. Gale wants to run away. She can't run away because of Prim and her mother and type of stuff. So, you could, he definitely tell that he very much cares for Katniss. So her and Gale, they're a bit strange. She's hunting for Gale's family. Gale would definitely tell her not to do that, not accept it, doesn't want handouts. Doesn't want anything from the Capitol type thing. That's a little bit later. But, so she's still, doing hunting, hop shit. Her mom and Prim are kind of taking the healer hand still in the district, helping out everybody that needs help. They're sick, injured, whatever. They're doing it all in the Victor's home. Katniss still goes to their original home that they had. And keeps it, fixed up and stays there when she wants some quiet time because she's not having a hard time. She's basically PTSD after the game.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't have PTSD unless you're fucking psychotic?
PTSD?
What?
PTSD?
PTSD. Sounds like a PETA STD.
You just being like, what?
What? Wait, what was the word?
PETA.
But yeah, so, they're getting ready for... So, it's mentioned that the quarter quell is coming up, and the quarter quell of the Hunger Games is every 25 years. So, every 25 years, they do a quarter quell, which is a unique Hunger Games.
Yes.
Which is, 1 year they did twice as many people from each district. That's the one Haymitch won. That was the third quarter quell? It was the latest one. I don't know. No, it was...
Second? Because I feel like...
Second, because you have 25, 50...
I feel like this was the 75th, if I'm remembering the movie.
Yeah, it's 75th.
Yeah,
so it was
third.
It would be the third. Yeah. Okay, yeah. What would it call the...
Every 100 years.
Yeah, my brain hurts. But yeah, so Haymitch won the last quell. And, I forget the 1 year what they did. But, so they do something special for each quarter quell. For each quell that happens every 25 years. Special for games that happens. And so that's about to come up. Katniss and them are, kind of realize that they might be mentors for this one. And,
Surprise.
And they have to go on their victory tour, so halfway between, the Hunger Games, each Hunger Games, they do in the middle, a victor's tour. So they visit each district, and how they do it, since 12 was only won once, they always visit their home district last, so they're going to be going from 11 to 1 back to 12. And, before they go on this lovely victor's tour, they find out, Snow comes to, President Snow drops by. And pretty much tells Katniss that what she did was dangerous. That rebellion has kind of started. I think 11 is one where, they're having to put more peacekeepers up because people are starting to see an active rebellion with what she did with the berries. And so she's like, you better convince them it was just an act of reckless love and you have this tour to do it. And if it doesn't do it, you have many people you can lose, like your family and stuff like that. So he pretty much threatens her.
Be a shame if something were to happen to him.
Basically, that's what happens. I love that she flies off the couch to come back up to fly off again.
Bro, real.
This is our life.
Girl.
It's great when she's going up and down the whole fucking staircase, just watching her.
Clip clap, clip clap,
Oh
clip
my
clap,
goodness.
clip clap.
Yep.
Tick.
Oh, poor baby.
That's why the stairs are gated off.
That's fair.
And when we're upstairs, they're gated off at the top.
Senior doggy with spunk. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately to both. She's unfortunately a senior, unfortunately still spunky.
Yup. But yeah, so Snow shows, threatens her basically, and she's like, well, shit, we gotta make sure we're super convincing. And I believe scene of events to be decided. I'll just tell them as I remember them. So they go on their victory tour, and she tries to convince the world of PETA, that they're in dying love. They do keep PETA out of the loop that this happened, but she does tell Hamish Snow's threat. So they very much try to get on board to make it as believable as possible. PETA is not hard to deal with because PETA already knows what to say. PETA is already in love, so he doesn't need much convincing, so they keep him out in the dark. But then the problems arise in District 11 when they go visit there. When PETA gives his speech to the people of District 11, he offers a portion of their winnings to the families of Thrush and Rue. Mm-hmm. I think it's Thrush? Mm-hmm. Yes. I think so, yeah. So offers them both portions of their winnings. And obviously that looks bad, more rebellious, because PETA doesn't know that what's going on behind the scenes. He's just trying to be kind. And Katniss decides to also speak up, talk about how wonderful they were and Rue was. And she meant her speech to be very heartfelt and stuff, but it also is taken as, like, a huge act of rebellion. It's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't type thing.
Well, because she's giving people hope, and hope is always going to be, like, the spark of rebellion.
Yeah, which is, like, definitely, like, movie 1 touches on that, where, like, hope is, like, too much hope is a bad thing. And, so, after they say their things, they get whisked off into the back. Katniss forgets her flowers. She goes back, and she sees... there's something that happens, I can't directly remember, but there is a man in the crowd, and...
Yeah. Just a man.
Yeah, it's just a man. It's a man in the crowd, and he either whistles the song that Rue taught her, or holds up, like, the 3. I think that's
it's the 3.
Yeah, District 11, that's when they all do the salute of, like, their 3 fingers. Because, like, in the movie, they show them doing it right away, but they never saw the clip of Katniss doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they ended up doing, like, the 3 symbol to Katniss during their tour. And when they come back out to get the flowers, they see him being shot in the head. Like, he's shot in the head in front of everybody. And then they start saying that there's a much bigger deal here than they can handle. And that's when PETA finds out, because Hamish guides them through the building, like he's in the building his whole life. And they finally tell PETA the plan. And PETA gets very justifiably upset, because he feels he's just made everything worse with the offering of the money to their families.
Kinda.
And he kind of did without knowing to, so he doesn't want to be left out of the dark anymore, and they agree upon that. Within their tour, they also agree to publicly get engaged. Because before even the victory tour, Hamish warns Katniss, there's no getting away from this.
Yeah.
Is that if you want to live forever in peace with your family, like, you are going to marry this kid. Basically, there's no other way. And then she starts thinking of Gale more and the life that she can't have with him, and then you start seeing the duology. It's like, the whole thing, it's where she has nightmares, she likes to sleep with PETA, because, like, they have this comfort together. And,
they're trauma bonded.
They're trauma bonded, very much so. And, so there's, like, both, but she does see Gale as somebody that she could marry. And so they get this wedding plan done. They get to the Capitol, and they have their feast with President Snow. She learns I think she learns, somewhere between either her meeting with President Snow before the victory tour and then at the party, that Seneca Crane, he was the maker of the Hunger Games that she started.
Yeah.
And he was killed. And obviously because he didn't kill them in the arena. And his empathy, because Snow says that he showed a little bit more empathy for them in his games and made a mistake. And he should have killed them when he had the chance, but he didn't. So Seneca Crane was killed. So there's a new game maker called Poltridge Heavensby. He is a new, like, head game maker, and he is going to be designing this year's games. And quickly off the bat, everyone's wearing the Mockingjay, like some symbol of the Mockingjay on their belt, ring, necklace, hair, whatever, in the Capitol, because it's like, for everybody else, it's like a symbol of rebellion, but for the people in the Capitol, it's trendy, because, the star-crossed lovers have stolen all of their hearts. And they announced their wedding in the Capitol, and then President Snow is going to orchestrate the whole wedding, host it in the Capitol, and then the people are going to have a say in their wedding and what it's going to look like, down to the wedding dress. And come to also find out that in the Capitol, because there's so many different types of food to try and eat, you find out that people literally drink a liquid to make themselves throw up so that they can eat more. Yeah. So she sees them having all this abundance and throwing up their food when other people are starving in other districts for them to be able to do this.
So they're influencers.
Basically. A little bit.
No, I mean, you're not wrong, but...
Well, also just here's a symbol of rebellion, but we're doing it because it's trendy. Basically, influencers.
Yeah, no, they do. It's trendy.
They're doing black out.
Yeah.
Their social media pages, even if they don't believe in it, but because everyone else is doing it and they want to look good.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's very much a superficial. Is that the word I'm thinking of? So it's very superficial lifestyles. They just keep up with trends and do do what's right and like accepted by their common society. So they're here at this party. She meets Poltridge, Heavens be the new game master maker, whatever they call him. And he has a pocket watch that's unique.
GM.
The GM, the GM. She meets the GM. I'm referring to him as GM now from here on out.
Brennan Lee Mulligan, what are you doing here?
Right? I love him.
Brennan would never, honestly.
He would be taking everything down from the inside. Like, this is going to be the most brutal game ever because we're going to let everyone out, let all the players into District 1, and they're just going to fuck shit up.
They're going to fuck shit up. So he shows her his symbol, and it's a mockingjay on a pocket watch. And, he said that he has a meeting at midnight to discuss the new game, so he has to go.
Don't follow me.
Yeah, don't follow me, basically. Like, don't let anybody know, because they're not supposed to know yet. So, they do that. She meets up with President Snow again, and she's like, did it work? Like, and he just shakes his head no. That it was not convincing enough, and the people are still being rebellious. So, this is the first time I think this girl has slept well since everything started, because she's like, we're done. We're dead. I'm gonna go home and run away. You know, and I can give up this fake relationship. We're good here. Like, we're not good. We're very far from good, but, like, I can stop pretending and stop worrying so hard. I can just go home, get my family, and fucking run. Convince Gale and his family to run. Convince PETA to run. Convince Hamish to run. Everybody to run away from District 11.
I was going to say, follow me into the mines.
Follow me into the mines.
We're going to live as mole people. They'll never find us.
Dwarves.
And by the time they do, we will have...
the Balrog.
I was going to say become feral to the point of it turns into the Descent.
They're just skinwalkers at that point after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't work. They go home. She talks to Gale, and she talks to Gale, and Gale's like, okay, yeah, let's run. Gale's happy because, like, you know, he loves Katniss, and he's like, finally, we're agreeing on something, we'll get our families to go. And then he realizes quickly that PETA will be coming. And then he's like,
I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good. And then I forget if she said something else about people rebelling to him. Because, like, you find out, like, more districts are rebelling. So he's like, wait, this is our chance to fight. So Gale's like, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna fight. And she knows that there's nothing she can do to stop him from doing such things. So he takes the game that they catch on the Sunday and leave. And she just chills around for a bit, just contemplating it all, like, wanting to run, like, convincing Gale, like, I'm gonna go to his mom first. If I go to his mom can talk him into reason before he does something stupid in the mines. So she gets back home. She don't need to do anything stupid at this point because she sees a bunch of commotion happening around the square. And PETA's with her. And then PETA's like, stay back, you don't want to see what's going on. And when they go to meet the crowd, you see Gale strung up, being whipped by a peacekeeper? Yeah. And come to find out, it's not the same peacekeepers they're normally dealing with. The ones that turn a blind eye when you go hunting for game. The ones that turn an eye when you're dealing in the black market and even, like, buy some of your stuff from you. These are all new peacekeepers that have been brought in by the Capitol. And I think... That's where I'm like... Thrash might be his name. It's on my phone. Because I really do need to look up this name. Because I feel like Thrash at the beginning, that's why it confused me. I have a phone somewhere. It's a... Ooh, I wonder which one of you have their phone. Google the Peacekeeper's name in Catching Fire. Me hosting, there will always be at least one phone Google.
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, I do that kind of on my own anyway, just because I get curious about things.
Yeah, no. I need his name.
Steven.
Whips Gale.
Romulus Thread.
Thread. Okay, yeah, so Thread. Thread is whipping Gale.
Romulus Thread?
Yeah,
that's what it said.
They have wild names. I'm kind of into them. So Romulus Thread, he is whipping Gale.
Please continue. I can't get over that, but that's not me. That's my...
Yeah, so jumped right to the kite. Gale tried to sell his turkey game to, I forget his name, doesn't matter now, he's dead. No, he's not dead. Actually, no, yeah, no. This guy, he's not dead, he's disappeared.
Schrodinger's person for a second there.
Huh?
Schrodinger's person? Because he's both alive and dead.
He's both alive and dead. So, Gale goes to his house, the normal enforcer that they have, and... because he likes to buy the turkey, so he tries to sell him turkey, but when he knocks on the door, it's not him, it's Thread, and it's illegal to hunt game on the capital's land. So, he gets strung up in the square, lashed over 40 times, I believe, at this point, and he's going to die if they don't stop it. So Katniss gets involved when he goes to whip him again. She noticed Darius, the other peacekeeper, is on the ground unconscious, looking like he might have attempted to help Gale. And so she jumps in between the whip and Gale. She gets her face smacked. Haymitch jumps in. He's like, look what you did to her face. She has a photo shoot for her wedding in like a week.
Oh, yeah.
And is like, what do you think they're going to do? When you find out that the Capitol's like, Darling essentially just got her face marked up by a peacekeeper. I'll contact the Capitol right now. So they let Gale go. Well, there's another woman that pops up. I can't remember her name. It might be Greasy Say. But she... What?
Just Nick. He like took an extra long time to process that name, and then he was just like,
it's like Greasy and SAE. So I've always said Greasy Say.
Okay.
So
and just someone named you got Romulus and Greasy.
Well, yeah, it's just like she deals a lot in the black market. So
okay, so it's a nickname.
It's more so a nickname because she.
One would hope, yeah.
Yeah, she's like a prominent, like reoccurring character for the black market and the Hob. So, yeah, so she's like, you've already done the number of, like, whippings that are allowed for such a crime, like, at this point, and so and that might not even be true, but she says it very confidently. He's like, oh, is that so? Okay, fine. So he lets Gale down, and it's kind of a warning as to, like, they're no longer going to get away with the things that they have been getting away with. So now people are getting more hungry and starving without them catching game, and doing all the other illegal stuff that they were doing just to stay alive. So, one of the things is Gale was very adamant about none of his siblings ever signing up for the Tesserae. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong. But it's where you sign up for extra grain, but you put your name in the bowl one more time. So, it was his goal never to have his siblings do that, but then the next oldest one ends up doing it because they need the food. Because Gale's mother can no longer... She was doing laundry on the side for people, but I guess there's illegal... Like, that's illegal, too, in a way. So, she no longer has people willing to give her the laundry in order to do it in fear of getting in trouble. So, they're falling on hard times, where then Gale's mother They get Haymitch to hire Gale's mother as a cleaner. So, his house ends up actually getting clean and staying clean and smelling nice because of her.
I finally got it the way I want it.
Right.
Fine.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing to do for Gale's family, so she at least is bringing in money. They do their best to keep Gale alive and, like, keep his back clean, and that's when Katniss realizes it's always going to be Gale. And she feels guilty because it's like it takes him almost nearly dying for her to realize this, that it would always be Gale and her. And then she decides that she's staying, and she's going to somehow join the rebellion, because she wants to help fight with them. Also, the fence that surrounds District 12 is supposed to always be electrified, but it isn't. And they make a heavy comment on that, because there's one point where Katniss goes out into the woods near the lake where she learned how to swim, where her father used to take her. when they used to go hunting for game and, like, herbs. And I don't know if this is the exact moment it happened, but it's where my brain remembers it. But she meets two people, I believe, from District 6. I could be wrong, but from another district that's not 11.
Two Truths and a Lie.
Yeah, Two Truths and a Lie. So from a district that's not 11, where they decided to, they manufacture the Peacekeepers uniforms there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to sneak out during when they started rebelling. One of them, her husband died, and then the younger one, her family died in the rebellion that they're rising up in this district. And they dress up as peacekeepers and leave, and somewhere along the way, one of the girls, like, twists her ankle, so Katniss ends up giving her all of the food. And at this point, Katniss has so much food with her because she wanted to distract her mom by not making her worry that she was going out hunting for game for a long period of time, because she had to hike all the way to the lake. Because they had, like, a small concrete building there that they used to stay in for, like, funsies when her dad was alive. Oh my god. And, so she ends up giving them all their food. And, they talk about District 13 still being there. And she's like, that can't be true. They completely destroyed it during the rebellion. And they're like, well, if you ever look at the footage they use from the replays of, like, the district, because they think the district is radioactive and unusable, which they have a shortage of material from that district. And their claim is because it's so radiated. But if you look at the footage, it's still the same footage from, like, the very first time they ever filmed it during the rebellion, where you see the same Mockingjay fly off into the corner. And, that could be true, but she talks to them, gives them enough food, they go on their way. She goes back to the electric fence. It's on. It's live. They want to catch her. They know she's out. The Peacekeepers thread, they want her caught. And so Katniss being Katniss, she climbs a tree, drops down, hurts her foot, makes it look like she doesn't hurt her foot, buys some stuff in, like, the, shopping area, because she wants to make it look like she did more than just out. So she buys candy and some other stuff, like wrappings, because the family's low on, like, bandage wrapping for people. She gets back home. Peacekeepers are already waiting for her. It's not Thread, but they're people who report the Thread, and they're like, where have you been? And she's like, I've been out, like, handing out food like I said I was, went shopping. And they're like, what did you buy? And so she's like, they're like, oh, good. She walks to she's in so much pain she doesn't want to put weight on her foot. But she sits down, they see that she brought candy, they steal her candy. It's like, they're all good at bantering with each other and lying, because they know something's up and not something's up. And they're, like, stealing her candy, this and that, and they get on well together. And then so the Peacekeepers are like, okay, well, what the fuck can we do? So they leave. So they can't really catch her. She has to rest on her leg after that. She ends up having to push out her wedding photo shoot because of the lash on her face. That's how Haymitch words it. So after that, they dress her up. Cinna comes, they dress her up in all of her wedding dresses, and they take pictures, and they are going to air it for the whole world to see, and then they're going to make a special announcement. And so, they get there, they see all, like, the Capitol gushes over the wedding dresses, and they all get to vote on the ones that they want to see her actually married in. And at the same time, they announce the Quarter Quell. And the President Snow claims that all of the Quarter Quells have been written before their time, so that these are the original people who wanted to, when the Treaty of Treason happened, that they already pre-wrote what each Quarter Quell was going to be, so that no one really has a choice. It was decided by the previous people who first did the Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. And so he pulls out a slip, and this Quarter Quell is every victor. So one victor, like 2 victors from every district will be taken to the Hunger Games for this year. So that means Katniss is 100% going in, because she's the first female winner of the Hunger Games, and then the second one from her district will either be Peeta or Haymitch. And she already knows how that's going to go. If either one, they're going to volunteer as tribute for each other. No, like, it depends on who gets called first. And so there's something so, for me, like, there's so much, like, I don't know, simulator. Like, something I would do is, like, she runs out when it's announced. She goes on this crazy rampage of, like, I don't know what she does, but she just runs away. She ends up in the basement of, like, another Victor's house, and she punches a window in her hand. She's like, when did I do this? And I'm like, in my heated rage? I don't know. Like, she just has, like, a whole insanity moment.
Heated ragery?
Yeah, she's, like, full of rage at this point, because it's like, what the fuck can I do?
Right.
And she stuffs stuff in her mouth so she can scream, and she just goes to Hamish after, and just starts drinking with him. And, so they're all coming up with him. Peter's like, we're going to start training as careers at this point. And we're going to train. We have time. We're going to, like, watch all of the past winners. We're going to make a plan. So they get everyone's ordered, and they're, like, watching and planning and prepping, and that's all they can really do. And they even prep Hamish. Like, Peter dumps out all of his alcohol, and he's like, what the fuck? Because, oh yeah, and the side note is, when the peacekeepers came in, their dealings of alcohol, I guess, were illegal, so Hamish was running out of his supply. And this entire time, Katniss and Peeta were both stocking up for him, because I saw him once go through a detox, and it was bad. So, like, we're gonna keep storing this away in case it ever happens again and there's a shortage. So, of course, there's a shortage. So, Peeta dumps out everything. It's like, Hamish, you gotta get sober for this, because if you get called, like, it's gonna be bad. So, they start training together. Time comes where they're being called, and even Gail helps them, like, at times too. So, like, during Sundays, Gail comes in and helps both her and Peeta, so it's like a weird exchange for her to see them all working together. But she has one mission at this point, is to keep Peeta alive. Because she feels that she is more worth dead to the rebellion as a martyr than alive, because she doesn't know what to do. I think. So she says Peeta is good with words. He's good in front of, like, an audience. He would never think so or ever try to be, but he's the leader that people need for this rebellion. That's what she thinks. Yeah.
Which is why I was... When you said that the previous game maker, because he had empathy, was killed and they brought someone else, I thought that if he had gone the other way and killed both of the winners, the rebellion would be even worse.
Yeah, potentially, which they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Unless it happened.
It just seems like, for the safety of everyone and to keep the rebellion smaller, they made the right call. Because if they just, let the winners die, well, then there's no chance of anyone ever winning, and rebellion explodes.
Yeah, so it would not go well either way. But also not counting on the fact that, like, the game doesn't trick everybody into killing somebody else just like... It's like the, like, would you kill your neighbor because... you're afraid to die and you value your life more. Like, it really comes down to that, where, like, a lot of people just believe that, like, you would always choose your own life above somebody else's. So they get to the name calling. Effie's not happy about this, which of course not. Like, she finally gets a winning victors, and now she has to cast them again. And it happens. Hamish gets called, so Peeta volunteers. So Peeta's going to the games with Katniss. They both have the same goal, different ways. Peeta wants to protect Katniss. Katniss wants to protect Peeta. And then Katniss even convinces Hamish, like, this or nothing. So Hamish is like, okay, we keep him alive. You die. So that's what it is. Even as they're getting prepared for, like, the games, like, everyone's crying in the Capitol because it's like, they have their victors. They mention it. They have the victors that they love. So, they don't want to see them go, and it's very likely that they're going to die. And, one thing that happens, they get all dressed up and do their interviews. President Snow makes Katniss dress up in her wedding dress that the Capitol chose. Because they still voted on it. And so she thought that was, like, very cynical of President Snow. It's like, no one will, like, it's all very, like, organized. But then Senna, who is a fucking brilliant genius, equips her dress with a little something else, and it's like twirl baby, basically.
A little razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle. So she gets up on the stage. She, woos the crowd, and then she gets up and twirls, and her wedding dress goes up in flames. She doesn't know what's happening, and it is replaced by, like, a plumage of feathers, and she looks like the Mockingjay. So she is the symbol. She is the Mockingjay. And everyone's just in love with it, but that is also another defiance of the Capitol.
Yeah, I'm like,
yes, Cinna. Because Sinet does say something, and it's not a direct quote, but he does say when he gets angry at something, he puts it into his work so he hurts no one but himself.
Yeah.
That's what he says, and she draws the connections later. So, they have their moment. PETA and his fucking bombing when it comes to, like, his interviews, because at the end of this interview, he's like, it'd be great except for the baby. Implying that Katniss is pregnant.
Yeah,
and
he,
then
like, clickbaits.
He does, and that gets the crowd fired up so much to the point where they have to blare the anthem so that people don't hear how upset they are. Because it's just wrong. Like, so, like, she's not even mad about it at this point. She's like, it's brilliant. This is why he used to be the leader of the rebellion. And, so he comes back out, and that all happens. They're not even mad at each other. And then they have to do the whole thing where they get graded, again, by all of, like, the rich people who do the games. And, she doesn't know what PETA does, but clearly it was enough because they had to take 40 minutes to reset the room. They put Matt directly in the middle. And come to find out that PETA actually painted a picture of Rue in the middle because she wanted to hold them accountable. And then, Katniss, during her turn, she's like, what can I do? Because PETA obviously did something to shake them.
Yeah.
What can I do? And so she takes a mannequin and she puts Seneca Crane, like, smears it in the berry juice that she finds, and puts it on the mannequin and throws a, like, noose around it and lifts it into the air.
Because after she spun and it caught fire,
the peacekeepers came for him.
Oh, so he didn't die yet.
No, Senna. So that's Senna. So Seneca,
sorry.
So you're fine. So Seneca Crane.
And my ass did that during the fucking...
they're very similar. So Crane, he was the original game maker. He was murdered after the games.
Yeah.
Very heavily implied he was murdered after the games because of like Katniss and PETA. So what she does is she takes berries, crushes them or whatever, gets juice, writes Seneca Crane on it, and hangs it. And it makes them all gasp, drop their wine and stuff like that. And then as she's walking out, she takes the berry, like the berry juice container, and throws it at it, and it just splatters, and there's more gasp. And so when they get back, and she tells Haymitch what happened, like, Haymitch is like, what the fuck? Like, this is not how you win. And they both get zeros on their rating.
Well,
yeah.
The reality is both of them aren't going to leave anyways.
No, they're dead.
So that's like kind of like the goal is for them to be dead at the end of it.
Yeah, they
like,
want them dead. Like,
so why should I behave? You're gonna fucking kill me anyways.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why should I fucking behave?
I wouldn't behave either. I think what they did was beautiful. And then during this time, they're told to make friends with the other victors because this is going to be a team effort. They're going to make alliances because they're all victors. They've been in this arena. Some of them, they call them morphlings, the people who are addicted to morphine. And that's probably in the richer districts when they go back home. That's what they're addicted to. You have some are addicted to alcohol like Haymitch. So some of them are not well. Some of them have lost their minds too. So being a winner is not always the greatest thing. And like Finnick. I love Finnick. Finnick, he's from like the fishing district. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
I know Fish Boy though.
Yeah, he's a good swimmer. He fights with a trident. He's great.
Fish fear him.
Fish fear him. So he's kind of like the flirtatious boy, and I will say the only mention in the book, because I know in the movie, like you had mentioned before, that the tributes are used to basically be passed around the noble, like rich nobles of the capital. And Finnick doesn't outright say this, and doesn't really outright say any of that in the second book, but Katniss does say that Finnick is known for kind of selling his body to other people, because there's other things you can do like that. And then he's known to be a really big flirt and have multiple lovers. Like, everybody's in love with Finnick. So that's, like, one tidbit from there. So they decide, after they, like, do this big stunt with their grading scales, they're like, yeah, and we want no alliances. We want nobody. And so Haymitch is like, of course you don't. Well, I can't deal with you both, so you guys can do whatever the hell you want. So they leave. Effie is also upset because manners are important to her, and there were no manners there. So Effie leaves, so they're both gone. PETA and Katniss get a whole day together because they're like, we expect you know what to do during your interview. And that's where the interview happens after all of that. But that's where the baby thing comes in, and the feathers and everything like that. And so the day that they actually go off into the games. They get fitted in their suits. Cinna talks to Katniss, says, I'm betting on you. Always. And then as she's in the tube, they wait for the longest time. That's when Cinna, the designer, gets cuffed behind his back, beat to near death, and they drag him out, and there's like a blood smear that's left of him, and obviously heavily implied dead. So she has to go right up into the games after seeing that, so she's like a mess. She's a complete and utter mess when she is raised up into the cornucopia, and she sees immediately that she is basically, there's, in my head, how I imagine it, I don't remember the movie, that's why I didn't watch the movie yet, because I didn't want to cross them, but it sounds like an ocean is around their feet. So they're up on these tubes, and there's just ocean.
Yeah.
So they have to swim into the middle of the cornucopia.
Yeah, they're standing on, like, platforms in water.
Yeah, so that's what, like, some of them can't swim or whatever. You find out later that the belts that they have on are actually flotation devices, so they'll get across the water, but they don't know that. So, a lot of, like, Peeta stays on his platform because he doesn't know how to swim. But Katniss does. So she swims out once the games start. She goes for the bow. They have no alliances at this point. And something happens. I think someone goes for her. Finnick kills them. Finnick is like, I'm on your side. And then she sees, because they all, like, for friendship and stuff in Team Mockingjay, they all wear, like, gold bangles or something gold with, like, either the Mockingjay or, like, a fire emblem, like, fire engraved in it. And so she sees that he has Haymages. So he has Haymages, like, bracelet. So she's like, okay, well, I guess Haymitch decided our alliance is for us.
Yeah.
And so they go get Peeta. They're pretty good. They take Mags with them.
Mm-hmm.
Mags is, like, an 80-year-old woman
Mm-hmm.
who gets pulled into the game. She doesn't speak much anymore. Katniss meets her in BT, in Wireless, and all of these people, and Joanna, before the games, and, my brain, where'd it go? When I lose my train of thought. So, Finnick, her, Peeta, they get the hell out with Mags. Mags stays on Finnick's back, Finnick carries her. They get to the edge, and during training, Katniss with BT and Wireless, they, tell her about the force fields, and that there's, like, a sign in the force fields that you can tell where there's it's like a weak point in the field. So they tell her about that in the training aspect of it, and so she notices the field, the force field at the edge of the arena before they can, like, really do anything about it, and Peeta, like, is going towards it, and he gets shocked. He gets thrown back. And, like, during Haymitch, they watch Haymitch's games, by the way.
Yeah.
And, the force field, he figured out that if you threw something back, it came back up. And then there was, like, his winning thing was an axe got thrown over, it came back up, and he used it to win.
Yeah.
Or, like, it flew back up and smashed the person in the head.
Yeah.
So that's how Haymitch won his games. And, so they were thinking about the force field. And so, she notices the force field before Peeta does because of the trick. Peeta gets shocked, his heart stops, like, she's freaking out. Finnick is giving him CPR. I think she really doesn't know what CPR is, because she tries to, like, destroy Finnick for closing his nose, but then realizes that he's doing something her mother has done before, and he does it really well, because obviously if you're from, like, a fishing district, people might drown.
Right.
So, CPR. So, gets to Peeta. Peeta comes back to life. He's kind of nonchalant, but he's like, I'm fine. I hurt, but I'm good. She's like, your heart stopped. So what I love about Katniss, she's a fucking mess when she's crying. She's like, her snot is running down. She needs to get moss to sop up her tears. And I'm like, that's so real, though. And so, they're like, how did you know there was a force field there? And she's like, I can hear it. Because she knows they're listening in the game, so they can't give too much away.
I thought she was just autistic, because she can hear electromagnetic fields and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, what happened in the first game, she lost complete hearing out of her left ear, and so they repaired it in the Capitol, and so she made the claim that, like, oh, ever since my left ear got repaired in the Capitol, it works extra well. So she's like, I hear it. And so she's like, that will make them look at the surgeons in the Capitol rather than the force field. So they're like, okay, lead way. So she leads them around. They climb the tree. Come to find out the whole arena is not big, but is in the shape of a circle. So the force field goes around the circle.
And they get locked in to, like, sections.
They do. They eventually get locked into sections because they start taking a break and stuff. Katniss is trusting the Alliance more and more. And when they're resting one night, fog starts rolling in, and it touches your skin, it burns. Like, it's an acidic fog. So she wakes everybody up. They start running, hightailing it out. She is trying to get Peeta to come with her, but Peeta is, like, still winded from his heart stopping. And Finnick has Mags on his back, and he's running with her, and Katniss can't keep up. They fall, because once the fog also touches you, it's like a paralytic. So his legs are numbing, his face is drooping, like, it's going down to their nerves, so they can't run anymore. So they fall. Finnick takes Peeta, Katniss takes Mags. Mags is light, but still, Finnick is much stronger than Katniss.
Right.
So they're running, Katniss falls. She's like, I can't do this. Like, can you take them both? Like, Katniss is definitely resigned to die right here. And he's like, I'm not strong enough because Finnick's arms are paralyzed from the fog. So he's doing already the best that he can. So Mags is like, peace.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Well, yeah, she's just like a little old lady anyway.
Yeah, she was eating the nuts, not caring if they're poisonous.
Yeah, she was just chill. She was like, whatever.
She was chill. She knew. So she went, and you come to find out that Mags was Finnick's mentor. And it was really only because Finnick doesn't really have family anymore.
Yeah.
He has Mags and a woman named Annie who is also a victor from his district. And it's implied that he's in love with her. But she's not mentally sound anymore. Okay, so as I've been informed, I keep saying BT. It's BD. We're gonna try. What was I?
Mags.
Mags walked into the fog like, peace, I'm good.
Yeah.
Love Mags. So Finnick decides to take watch that night because they not sure what happened, but he basically wants to take watch so he can mourn the loss of his mentor. And when Katniss wakes up the next day, she doesn't even question the fact that, like, you know, his eyes are red and puffy from crying all night. And they find out that the water, when you put the water, like, on, I think they found out the day before because she had to do it with Finnick when they reached the water again. They were able to wash off the pus and stuff, like whatever chemical was on their skin with the water. And then she demands Haymitch send them something for the itching. So when she was sleeping at night, she, like, itched herself, like, bloody. So Haymitch brings in stuff that makes them look like they're disintegrating, basically, like they're rotting. So they're like, let's wake up Peeta like this. And so, like, she's like, let's scare him. And she's like, they're like, okay, let's do it together. So they wake up Peeta, and he screams, basically, because, like, and they're like, how many funny moments can we have at this point? We only have so many days, like, left to live.
Right.
So, give them a show. Have some fun.
Would have some fun. Oh, and so there's two events that do happen. I can't fully remember, but I think it's the monkeys that happen first because Peeta, they were looking for water at the first part, and I think they call it a spiel. It's like S-P-I-L-E, where it's like a metal tube where you pound it into a tree or like into a thing that has water so that they can get water. So Peeta's off doing that right now. Katniss like, oh, there's some monkeys looking at you. And they look murderous, and they come down, and they're fighting monkeys at this point because they're trying to kill them. And another tribute comes out, and they call her a morphling, and she basically throws her body to protect Peeta from an attack as Katniss get to him in time, and she ends up dying from the wounds. And by the time the hour runs down, the monkeys leave, and they find Joanna and a couple other people. It was like Joanna, BT, and Wirus, which they call them nuts and bolts. Mm-hmm. So they're there. They're covered in red, and Joanna's like, we thought it was water, so we're like trying to, you know, catch water with our mouth with just red blood raining down from the sky above, and they're like, well, fuck. So they get onto the cornucopia together. They discuss to stay together, like kind of like they're all part of the Alliance technically together, because Joanna reveals that she had to get them like nuts and bolts if like for Katniss. Mm-hmm. Like she makes a really angry comment about it, and Katniss like, wait, what, for me? So she realized Haymitch has discussed their alliance for them behind their back. He's like, Dad, no, I will frustrate you. Come here.
Already frustrating me.
Come here. See here. Come here. Come here.
You gotta relax, girlfriend.
So that's when they find out that a cornucopia is a clock. Mm-hmm. Well, because also Wireless is saying tick-tock, tick-tock, and that's all she'll say. And,
She's the one who lost her mind?
Kind of. She was in shock because whatever happened to them in their portion of the arena. She normally has more words to say. They're not always connected. She has lost her mind a bit, but she's very intelligent. But only Beatty knows kind of what she's saying. So she just keeps saying tick-tock at this point, and then Katniss is drawing into strings from Poltridge and his pocket watch, and the tick-tock, and then, everything that's been going on. So, it's a clock. So they're figuring out that each timed event is happening a certain section. I can't remember, if it was fully described as for example, say at 12 o'clock a.m. or midnight. At midnight, a storm will happen, lightning will strike down in this one portion of the map. And then, I don't know if that strike moves on type thing, if it ticks like a clock, right now the storm's here, next hour storm's here. And if it's going like that. I don't remember if that's how it works.
No, I think each section
has their own
something else, yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I think is actually what's happening. And so, they are trying to figure out which where is happening where, so they're drawing a map, because now they have, an idea. And, they get into a mini fight with some of the other tributes. I don't remember their names, but they get confuckled, they run away. The middle of the cornucopia lifts up and spins because Katniss told them, verbally, that she figured out it's a clock. So they're trying to disorient them so they don't even know which part of the map they're facing now, so they have to remap it. So they go off, cut some stuff out. They decide to, because they get down to where it's only them left, and like I said, her goal's only PETA. So they decide that to wire up the seawater to kill the last. Oh my god, girl, your children are wild. But they decide that they're going to kill the last two tributes by the water, by putting the electrical coil in the water down to where the lightning strike hits. And so they do all of that. I'm cutting through some things just because read the book. But that's how one of the sections, they're Jabberjays. They bring them out.
Yes.
The real Jabberjays where they speak, so they have them screaming. And they're like, if they can make them sound like that, what are they doing to them in real life to make them sound like that? And then they're like, can they mimic voices like this in real world? And BD's like, it's actually really easy to, so don't even think much of it. But they still can't help but to think much of it.
Because the Jabberjays sound like people that they know. Their family and stuff.
Yeah, the Jabberjays mimic humans. That's how the Capitol during the first, rebellion was getting information out of people, and they were tricking people. So they just let the Jabberjays free, so they were, mating with mockingbirds to create Mockingjays.
Yeah, the ones in the arena, though,
they're straight up Jabberjays.
But they sound like their family.
Oh, yeah, they do. So, she has one that they actually, for Katniss, they do one for Prim, one for Gale, for, Finnick, they do Annie. And that's where he hears that. So that's when you find out that when there's a shield that comes up between the sections, and they can't get to each other. So that drops. But, so their plan is to kill the last two tributes, and they bring the wire up to this tree where the lightning's going to strike. They wrap it around. Joanna and Katniss are tasked with the plan to take the wire down to the water. So they're unwrapping it, talking, guiding each other, protecting each other. And Katniss is convinced that they're trying to split them up in a bad way, but what other choice do they have? Because PETA can't really move with his leg, because he has one bad leg because it was amputated and given a prosthetic, whatever they do in the Capitol. And so they're moving down.
Because his leg got all fucked up in the first one.
Yeah, they couldn't save his leg.
He got really infected.
Okay,
Because Katniss asked for medicine for his leg.
Yeah, in the game, so he got his leg.
Yeah,
because she found him because he couldn't move. Sorry.
He was feverish and saying, like, give me a kiss and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but then all this time later finding out that, like, he had a fake leg.
Yeah.
No, he had
they amputated it.
Yeah.
He has a fake leg because they had to amputate it after the first game.
Yeah, when he won the game, his leg was too bad. They had to cut it off, and they gave him what they do in the Capitol, like a mechanical, more so leg. Like, it's better than a prosthetic, but it is a prosthetic.
Right.
And so he just doesn't move as well anymore. So I think he walks the cane now, type thing. But I don't know. So they have to split up that way. So Finnick and Beatty and PETA all stay together, and they move quickly down to the ocean because when the lightning strikes, like, they want to get as far away from the ocean as possible to kill the other 2 tributes. And during the middle of that, it's decided that Joanna is going to go ahead and take the metal thing and smash Katniss in the head with it. And so she's like, okay, fuck, alliance over. So Katniss can barely, like, stay conscious. Joanna's on top of her, cuts her arm open. She hears other people coming. They're like, fuck, this is it all along. Like, Peter's probably dead. We're probably all dead. So fuck this. And so Joanna runs off because the other 2 tributes are coming. And so Katniss gets up. She makes her way hazily back to, like, where Beatty and them are. She can't see PETA. She can't see Finnick. But Beatty's on the ground holding PETA's knife that he accidentally hit with the force field. And she's like, what's going on, Beatty? Like, did he purposefully hit? Did he know? Like, why would he do this? Why would he hit the force field with the knife? And she starts to realize that they're, like, whatever the diminished part, like, the weak part of the field is, like, where would he aim? And, if something happens to her, there's, like, a blast or something, and she falls, and she hits the weak part with the arrow, and it breaks the force field with the lightning storm. So whatever happened with the lightning storm revealed the kink in the field, and she ends up using an arrow to break the force field entirely, so they can leave, essentially. And even before this, when they were all together, the sponsors were sending in bread. So she breaks the weak point in the barrier, and you could actually probably step out of the whole arena now. And she's, like, weak and laying there. She's like, this is it. She already hears the ship, the flying ships that come and scoop down the dead bodies. She's already hearing that coming for her. And so it scoops her up. She tries to get out of it. She doesn't know where PETA is. Well, she does hear PETA at some point, and PETA and Finnick are coming for her, like, trying to come back with her. She thinks Finnick's probably going to kill PETA. But she's got scooped up. She's hoping she dies before she gets up there because of the wound in her arm. It's okay, you're sure now? Okay. But, so she has a wound in her arm. She thinks she's going to die before she reaches up because she could see people waiting for her. And she, I believe, can hear Poltridge's voice. And so she's like, just let me die at this point. So she's passed out. She wakes up on a bed with tubes in her arm. Clearly they're trying to keep her alive, and she's like, can we just let us die? Like, just let us die. Like, we've been punished enough. And she thinks she's gotten PETA killed at this point. So when they put her back under, she wakes back up again. She's alone. She's unhooked. She sees Beatty across from her laying down, still in a coma type thing, or forced under, like they do. She sees a syringe. She's like, the best thing I can do is kill everybody that's here before they do it for us. So she's like, goes to Beatty to do it, and she feels really guilty. But she's like, but even if because, like, her first thought is, all I need to do is put air in his veins, and that will be it. And she's like, but then they'll sound the alarm, and I won't be able to get to the others. Like, won't be able to get to Finnick or, like, PETA and kill him first before they do, because she wants to spare him any more pain. So she goes off and wanders the halls to find PETA to kill him, out of mercy. And then she hears Poltridge again speaking. Then she hears Haymitch's, like, Finnick, Poltridge, and then she hears Haymitch. And so she bursts in. She's like, what the fuck? Type thing. And he's basically, this is why we don't let you make the plan, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And because once the quarter quell got announced, Haymitch was already working with the other district victors to get them out.
Yeah.
To make a grand escape plan. And Poltridge, he's part of the group. I forgot what they call them, the groups that, like, go up, like, against the greater power that's doing harm. But it's like an alliance type thing that they have. So he spent all this time to get to Game Master, and which is why he thought that he didn't know that the quarter call would be them going into the arena. So the watch was to help her as a mentor, like as a
hint,
for the games. But it ended up being her. And she's like, well, why didn't, because all the districts do this. So Finich, Joanna, Mags, BD, Wirus. Oh, Wirus, she ends up dying because she gets her throat slit at the cornucopia by one of them, and that's how it all breaks out. So she ends up dying as she's washing the contraption they used to actually get out. But yeah, so they made this big plan to break everybody out, and she's like, well, why didn't you tell Peta and me? And it's like, it would have been more dangerous for them to know at that point, because they would be, once they did it, Peta and Katniss would be the first two people they would pick up to interrogate about the plans. And they couldn't do that. So she's like, well, where's Peta? And Peta got captured by the Capitol. So Katniss, also realistic, lunges across the table and scratches Haymitch in the face. They're swearing at each other, fighting. They put Katniss back under again. And she's like, I failed. Peta's going to die because of me. They're going to torture him because of me. And they don't know. And then once they figure out that he knows nothing, he's going to die. Or they're going to use him against me type thing. She's like, I'm done. That's it. I'm not going to eat. Not going to do anything. Not going to drink. I'm dead. I'm going to die. Maybe that will save him. And then they use Gale to come up. And so Gale brings her back. And then it starts bringing her back to the realization that there's not just Peta. There's Prim. There's her mother. There's the other people that she loves. And she's like, is Prim safe? They're like, they're all safe. We got them out just in time. And they're like, but they're not in District 12? And he's like, no. Like, and she's like, she's confused. And he's like, she doesn't want to know, but he's like, there's no more District 12.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Districts go up to 11.
Yeah, they go to 11. There will be 2 tributes from 11 districts.
Man, how lucky that they, 13 was the first one that got destroyed, and then 12, because if, 8 started rebelling, what are they going to do? Are they going to just get rid of 8?
I know you're making a joke, but obviously, the further you get out, the poorer you get, so it makes sense that the 2 poorest districts would be the ones that would rebel the hardest. And I know you were making a joke, but it's...
Yeah, but, if 8 suddenly experienced, That's
what I thought, too, because it's interesting, because you hear, because during the conversation they have in the hallway while Katniss is trying to go search for Peta to mercy kill him, they talk about how they lost contact with multiple districts. So multiple districts are rising up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is interesting, because, for me, when I think of the Hunger, when I hear them talk about the Hunger Games, it sounds like the Capitol is truly the richest, and they reap the benefits of all the other districts. But second is also better, but it seems like once you get to 3 and out, it's still not the best quality for everybody.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting, so you find out that other districts are rebelling because you hear the people in the Capitol, like Cinna's group, when they come in to make her look pretty and design her dresses for her, they make comments about how they can't get shellfish anymore, or that, Phoenix district, that there's been rebelling. So you find out that, manufacturing is being stopped in most of these districts because they're slightly rebelling. But
it's up versus down.
But yeah, that's Catching Fire. One step closer to getting the Sunrise on the Reaping, which I'm very excited for.
I know. I'm excited too.
God, if shorts start popping up, I'm gonna scream. Oh, don't worry, when I get to Snakes and Songbirds, I will have proper notes for you.
Good.
And you too. And I'll have proper notes for Sunrise on the Reaping. Because that way I'm actually telling you something you've never heard before.
We're taking bets in the comments. Will she actually have notes?
Will it actually have notes? Will there be less chaos?
Right.
Who knows?
Who's to say?
Place your parlay bets. Over-unders.
Over-unders.
How many times will Butters jump off the couch in the next episode?
To give context with that, I maybe noticed twice. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I get so wrapped up that I only noticed twice.
What's funny is that, the 2 people who live with it noticed it the most, not the outsider, because one would think that if anyone was going to tune it out, it would be us, but unfortunately...
Yeah, no, and I was just like, ooh, pets, and that was it. The only thing I recognized was pets.
And pets are totally fine. It's just, it's never enough, or it's not what she wants.
Yeah, and also, she's a geriatric dog at this point.
She's just senile at this point.
Yeah,
she's just
she
a little
has
goofy.
very bad joints, and the fact that she's jumping off is very terrifying.
I know, and it's like, I would love to just not allow her on the couch, but you saw, if she doesn't have access to the stairs to get on the couch, she's going to try to jump up onto the couch, and that's real rough to watch.
Which is probably the start of the I'm going to fly counter.
Yeah.
But send this out, Nick!
Oh, jeez.
Take it away. Not like that.
I believe in a thing called Yap.
We don't have rights to that either.
It's okay.
I said the words. I didn't do the melody. If I were to sing it, it'd be one thing.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Do 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 do.